Howdy, 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 and welcome back.
Harris, is that you? Are you online?
Huh? Huh?
Oh, it's you. You're there.
Somehow, some way.
Oh, a new
It happened.
place.
New place.
New place.
So fancy with all my boxes still sitting there.
I love it. Well, hey, congrats on the move, dude.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. Before we jump in, y'all, before Greg gets us going today, don't forget to
Lifeblood of the channel.
Sweet. Well, welcome to the Radical Wasteland podcast, everybody.
Yes,
Right.
indeed. Greg the Ghoul here with Harris, my human companion. We're here to see all you Wastelanders today as we talk about some huge Fallout news. This is huge. We're going to talk about the arc of what we think is going to be the arc of the series from season 2 through potentially season 6. Aaron Morton, who plays Maximus, said recently that they have about 5 or 6 seasons worth of an arc planned, which is pretty dope. So I think we're going to have a little bit of fun doing what nerds do, and that's hypothesizing about what's going to be coming in the future. But, you know, in addition to rumors to talk about, there's a whole bunch of official information that just dropped. Last Monday, May 12th, was the Amazon Studio upfronts in New York at the Beacon Theater. Now, if you don't know what upfronts are in TV, basically studios and networks go out of their way to put on a lavish presentation of everything that they've got coming up. And they do these lavish presentations for ad executives and marketers to convince them to spend their ad budget with this studio or this network. It's literally what it is. Really simple, but it's a really big deal. And this is when a lot of big information comes out. And Amazon announced all kinds of stuff and showed teases of all kinds of stuff last week. But one of the biggest things that they did was drop some couple of teaser trailers for season 2 of Fallout. And we've got them. And if we can, we're going to try doing a live breakdown. But I also have some other pretty dope information as well. So, hi, David. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Hi, the Stanleys. Good to see you. Thank you guys for joining us today. Yes, this is an off-cycle episode of the Radical Wasteland podcast, but we're glad to have everybody here. So Harris, first off, and of course, the biggest part of the announcement, there's so much going on here right now. The biggest part of the announcement to talk about is the fact that Fallout Season 2 has been announced for December. We had a bit of a pool going, and I said Q1. Harris, you said December, and I thought it was going to be too soon. But no, you were right, sir. You were right. My hat is off to you. And see,
I was second guessing myself immediately after I said December too, though. I was like, you know what?
But you know what? You put. I'm going to give you credit because you stuck your dart in December. You know, so that's where you put it. So hat's going back on because nobody needs to see this bedhead. Okay.
If Amazon and MGM can let us be right a couple more times, you know,
that'd be great. We'd be like Nostradamus at this point. So, and then, in the same breath, when they announce December, they announce that they've already renewed the show for season 3. Gives a little bit of credit to Aaron Moten's comments at Comic-Con Liverpool. Talking about 5 or 6 seasons, but it also shows that Amazon's very confident in the product, very excited with the direction it's going in, very happy, that they're willing to bankroll more episodes because this shit is expensive. So, so to see them, putting their money where their mouth is and going for season 3, where things obviously get even bigger and better. Most TV shows typically find their stride around season 3.
Yeah.
And so this is the expectations are going to be high at that point. I do also think it's worth noting that we know now, thanks to IMDb, that season 2 will be like season 1. It's going to be 8 episodes long.
Okay, I did not know that.
That's nice. I did some digging on that. They've already put up They haven't put up anything other than the episode count, and they have pages reserved for each of the episodes, but it's going to be 8 episodes.
Well, okay. I mean, obviously, we talk about Stargate and things like that, where we would really like certain types of shows to go back to the 14, 16, 18, even 22, 24 episodes a season.
Sure. And Fallout is an environment where you could really get away with that, but there would be a lot of you would have it would be almost like old X-Files. You'd have your lore episodes, and then you'd have your, like bottle episodes, you'd have your holiday episode, you'd have your musical episode.
Yeah.
There would be,
which it would be fun to have like those in-universe Fallout holidays versus, Christmas and everything like that. That's still too short in my opinion. I was about to kind of get to that where I don't actually feel like that's too short. That's the first time I think an 8-episode thing has kind of almost been exciting to me.
If you're keeping it tight and focusing on one storyline, you can do well with 8 episodes. I feel like some of the Marvel shows that try to go 10, they run out of steam around episode 6. Because I felt that way with like the original Daredevil on Netflix. Like there were so many filler episodes of him just healing on the couch, and it's like, look, I know he doesn't have the healing factor, but good God,
it's like I love Rosario Dawson, but
yeah. So
I feel like 10 to 12 I think would be a sweet spot, but I think Fallout has done something really good that a lot of these other shows that do shorten their seasons don't like to do. And even Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon have become kind of not super consistent with it, but their episodes don't always even reach that 50-minute mark nowadays, where every single Fallout episode, I believe, reached a 50-minute mark. I think there might have been one that was like 48 minutes or something like that, but I think there were 3 or 4 of them that were over an hour long, if I remember correctly. And if we have 8 at least hour-long episodes, that feels like it's at least the majority of a main quest line within a Fallout game. And I feel like that's kind of the approach they're shooting for.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Where if it was one of those 24 episodes or even like 16 or 18 episodes, there might be room for those filler episodes, which would be a lot of fun. But I don't know if that budget would be conducive for the show, because like we saw last season, we only got one Yao Guai the entire time. I love all the power armor, but they're definitely choosing power armor versus a lot of the other kind of effects that they could be doing for certain things. And budget's going to increase.
And we do know that we're getting Death Claws in season 2. So, there's a lot to think about with that. I agree with you, but I think that they are putting. I think one of the big things I've heard is that they are putting more budget into it. They are putting their money where their mouth is to continue, and I think that's a great thing.
Because it was so much bigger of a hit than they expected. I'm surprised they even dropped it. Do you think, real quick, they're going to release these weekly, or do you think they're going to release it all at once again?
I feel like these days, if somebody drops a show all at once, it's because they know it's not great. I feel like that when they know that they've got a hit on their hands, they're gonna drag it. They're gonna drag it out and make you come back. They're gonna make it event television. I felt like season 3 of Marvel's What If, they dropped like all at once over Christmas last year because they didn't let the reviews out and all this other stuff. Like, it's because they knew they weren't happy with the product. So,
in the first 2 seasons of What If were decent too. That was kind of an actual disappointment there.
Yeah, I was. They had some fun stuff, but I feel like What If peaked with season 2, and they kind of did it dirty with season 3. I was a little disappointed. So, yeah, but and there is the Andor trend where they're doing 3 episodes a week now. They're kind of like splitting the difference, but
that was almost specific because those are arcs within the show as well, though, huh?
Yeah. So I don't know. I still have to catch up and watch season 2 of Andor. I've been so behind, but I'm not
watch the first 3 episodes.
I'm not going to be able to do anything until July at this point, anyway. So I'll catch it up. I'll catch up with it then, and it'll be great. I'll be getting in the group chat going like, "Oh my God, did you?" And you're like, "Yeah, that was like 4 months ago, dude. You got to shut the hell up." So.
At this pace, I'm going to be watching it right alongside you, so no worries.
Yeah. Hey, we are. Oh yeah, no, I can't wait to watch. I am going to rewatch Rogue One with it afterwards.
Just the context.
So I mean, right now we are eating good. We are eating good with this show. This is really great. But what do we want to talk about first? We want to talk about all the stuff from the breakdowns. We want to look at the trailers, talk about season where we think seasons 3, 4, 5, 6 are going to
go.
So many things to look at here.
Let's start sending me, I guess, a couple links if you don't mind, and I'll go ahead and pull up the Fallout trailers real quick, and we can.
Okay. Well, here, let me give you the. It was. Let me tell you, it was quite the event at the Beacon Theater in New York. Oh, I put that to the wrong chat, but there you go. We'll put that out to everybody so y'all can see it too. This is the link to the upfronts, and it was a very large presentation. They covered everything that they've got coming up: Rings of Power, Spider-Man Noir. They did the trailer for that. They did it immediately after Fallout too, so you know what they're trying to do. They're trying to like psychologically tie the two together so people will stick around. And I watched the trailers for that, and I want to be hyped for it, but I gotta admit, it when I was listening to Nicolas Cage, it sounded to me like he was kind of phoning in the voiceover. I was like, come on, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
well, I guess he's been doing that same character for a little bit, but that. For a trailer,
this is him fronting his own TV show for the first time. Like, put some life into it.
Goose, yeah, something, some humph.
Yeah.
So where am I going on this one? This is just the upfront.
Yeah. Oh, they changed it.
Yeah.
They changed the page.
It looks fancy.
Hold on. Oh, they've updated it since I pulled it. Oh no! Watch that video. That's the video.
This video. I'm with you.
Okay. So Fallout. This is like an hour and a half long. Now, what they did is they cut out I think they cut out all the trailers from this.
Okay.
But it starts off with Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista. Fallout hits at about the 30-minute mark. Hi, Peter.
Momoa. Who's that behind him? That's not Vin Diesel, is it?
No, that's Dave Bautista.
Oh, you literally just said that, but I just saw a bald guy walking there.
You know, how many big bald guys are there in Hollywood right now? It's tough to keep track of them. They're like Pokemon.
3. I was actually 3. It's those 2 and John Cena, right?
Oh, fair. Yeah.
I arbitrarily said 3, but it ended up working. I'll take it.
Actually, I don't think Cena's bald. It's Stone Cold.
Oh, Cena's not bald, is he? That's true.
Nope. Yeah, he's got hair.
He has been bald in the past, but dang.
This is true. Yeah, like I said, Fallout's not going to hit for about half an hour, but they had, oh my God.
Oh, that's Lizzo.
Lizzo, yeah.
Lizzo. Lizzo's actually.
Yeah, she's performing. Wow. Like I said, they pull out all the stops. They get celebrities and everybody here in the audience, ad execs and marketing people. Like these are the people who fund the networks and everybody. Basically, this is like, hey, we're gonna treat you right. This is the equivalent of taking like somebody whose business you want like a contract from to taking them out to a nice steak dinner. You know, that's what this is. So they put on a big song and dance. They get everybody coming out. And there is something pretty ironic because you're going to see Ella Purnell and you're going to see Aaron Moten and you're going to see Walton Goggins come out to talk about Fallout. And they're all promoting the show to these advertisers. And then one of the trailers that they have is oh my gosh, why am I blanking on Walton's name in the show? Not the Ghoul, his old name.
Oh my God.
I need more coffee. Hold on.
No, I swear I could. It's Cooper. Cooper.
Cooper Howard. Yeah,
Howard. Thank you.
Yeah, one of the trailers.
I know it.
Yeah,
so
no,
well.
I know. It. We got to do a rewatch. We got to do a rewatch live on stream.
Oh, that's great.
Cooper Howard. It's watching Cooper Howard struggle with doing commercials and advertising as an actor. You know, how he's shilling for products. So you've got Walton. It's very meta because you've got Walton shilling for the show here in front of a room full of advertisers, and then showing Cooper struggling with shilling for advertisers. It's yeah.
It's that little bit of Fallout dark humor that also ends up being a little bit more poignant than it. I guess it does mean to be as poignant as it is, but it is just kind of ironically funny nonetheless.
Yeah, I bet you some of Jay's sources are in the crowd. Absolutely.
Yes,
and Batista, Batista has shrunk down a lot. So is Cena, really. Now that we're talking about WWE guys, but that's what happens when you get off the juice. You know.
That's yeah. You know what? Third bald guy is Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I was like, there's another bald guy. I know it.
Oh yeah, he didn't.
Okay.
He wasn't bald when he first started, but he's bald as hell now.
Give me a little walking tall Dwayne The Rock Johnson. That's what I'm waiting for again.
There you go. VP US ad sales. This is the guy who's coordinating all this to make sure that Amazon's studios pockets are filled. But yeah, like I said, it's going to be a minute before we get to the Fallout stuff. If you want to zip ahead to the 30-minute mark, that's when everybody starts here. So
let's do this thing.
Yeah, let's just jump in. Okay, so Lizzo's doing her thing. She's doing a partnership with Twitch, and then as soon as she's done, she's gonna toss the mic to our guys.
Okay, we're at.
Yeah. Is there any way we can get audio coming in?
Yep.
Here we go.
Set the world
yeah, this is 30 minutes into this presentation, mind you.
I'm going to turn on just a little background lo-fi just to hopefully offset some copyright.
Yeah, we don't need the DMCA takedowns.
All around the world. And we are very excited to be here at our first upfront. So, what can we tell you guys about the show? Do you have any questions?
Okay, excuse my friends here. As a person who plays a celebrity spokesman in Fallout and in real life, and is going to be a spokesperson for every single company in this room.
See, even he gets it.
Kidding. I know exactly what we're here to do.
Well, I thought you played a ghoul.
I do. I love advertising. In fact, roll the clip. We made something very special just for you.
I wonder if everybody in that audience is
all right,
squirming or excited more.
Yeah. So then they put in the 2 trailers that we've got, and we watched those, and now here we are with they're doing a whole song and dance number. Like I said, they pull out all the stops for these things. You know?
Oh, it looks great too.
Yeah. So we got the Vault Dweller kick line, Chorus Girls,
How lucky can one guy be?
and
I kissed her.
yeah, we can just let this play for a minute because it's really fun how they cap it off.
Ain't that a
Oh yeah, no, that's dude. You got to spend money to make money.
The room was complete.
And if it was that big of a surprise hit, I'm surprised they just didn't expect it to be nearly as big of a hit as it was.
I mean, the thing is, I think they did know to a degree because of everything that they invested the first time. I think they got the right person at the right time that was willing to sign the big checks to give it a proper shot. You know, but honestly, studios like Apple. The streaming studios, I feel like, are much more willing and able to spend these days than the old guard. You know,
in a big way, for I guess better and worse in a lot of ways.
Yep. And then immediately after this, they throw it to. I want to say it's one of the producers of Spider-Man Noir comes out after this, but yeah, they made a whole spectacle of it. Here comes our trio again.
Hey, Christmas.
Oh, and this is where they announced December.
Oh, okay.
What happens here stays right here until it gets beamed out throughout the rest of the world.
And now our #1 pitch fan, Vernon Sanders.
Oh, they had the hats because they showed the December trailer. That's why it was. But they cut all the trailers out of this video.
I see.
The good news is that, and then Vernon Sanders here talks about everything and then throws it into Spider-Man Noir.
Hello, everyone.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So I'll tell you, look, if you guys want to get a little bit of insight into corporate synergies and how they and how they package things together and do whole big rollouts and everything, how studios will strategize, the upfronts are actually a really, really great way to see that. Because you get a real sense of what a studio's aesthetic and values and everything else are, is just by watching all this and to whom they cater to. You know,
it almost feels like a mini CinemaCon for the specific studio in a
Oh,
way.
100%. Yeah, no, it's just a mini. It's a mini. It's like a 1-day mini con or like a 2-hour mini con, just talking about everything, like sitting in a panel, and then now they're talking about everything that they've got. Yeah,
Is there more
big
Fallout
deal.
in there?
Yeah, I got a kick out of the fact they did a whole kick line and musical presentation. I thought that was fun, and yes, they did spend some money for this. They always do.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody else is getting musical presentations.
No. The upfronts are free to watch, and you can actually check it out at the link that I put up earlier. I'll throw it in the chat right now.
What's Arnie doing over there?
Oh yeah. And Jamie Lee Curtis comes out to take him off stage at the end of this because of their time at True Lies together. They went a little off script. Apparently, they had a moment.
Oh, that's still fun though.
Yeah.
So, I thought that was going to be all their giant,
Yeah,
panels.
and they intersperse celebrities with executives, and it's quite the dichotomy.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but he looks Ted Sarandos like, but younger.
A little bit, yeah.
Probably similar, like job title in some degree as well. That's good though. Kicking my desk around. I thought both of those trailers looked great.
Yeah. Well, let's actually fire them up real quick. Let's jump into that because we've got the official announcements, and also I do have the press release where they announced season 3 renewal and and they talked about December, but it's just a wall of text. But I'm going to throw it in the chat here for everybody else too. But yeah, it's a standard. They put out the press release right after the upfront happened. So like within minutes, bam, bam. And then my phone blew the hell up as soon as this hit. And then I put out my little, oh my God video last week. I was like, somebody post this in the SciTrek chat, in the host chat. It was hilarious. It was just like, I was like, somebody.
I saw it and was like, do it. I literally just grabbed my phone, just tried it as fast as I could. Was like, hold up. I got this.
Yep. All right. Well, hey, let's look at the first trailer here.
You ready?
This is the Cooper Howard one. This is trailer number 2. But yeah, let's look at this.
Yeah, which also ends with the first trailer attached to it, correct?
Oh, it does?
I believe so, because it's the first trailer is Cooper and Lucy walking around, right?
Yes.
Okay, I believe that this ends with that.
Oh, it's already attached? Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Okay, cool.
If it doesn't, we can find it, of course.
Again, let's enjoy the irony of Cooper Howard here bitching and moaning about how much he hates being a corporate shill for products after Walton Goggins just was shilling for the show. You know, I mean, look, I respect it. You gotta do the hustle. You know, when you sign up for these things, you gotta do the press tours, you gotta do the salesman shtick. But yeah, I wonder just how much art mirroring reality there is here.
Yeah, he had to just been laughing. Have you seen the Fallout 76 new trailer for Fission?
I have not. Ooh. All right.
Well, if this doesn't get us copyright, we might as well watch that one in a little bit as well.
Yeah, we'll check that out. We could do a little add-on tag at the end here. But yeah, let's fire this up. And okay, so obviously we are inside of a vault right now. What is the number at the end of the hallway? Let's actually try to do like Screwface Jean level of breakdowns here.
It's 33 at the end of this hallway.
Okay, so this is 33, but because it's Cooper, this is pre-war. So
good point.
Yeah.
I know that I've lived.
So post-war, I guess.
Okay, so post-war Vault Dwellers.
We're going to lower the volume just to help us
a
out.
relatively comfortable life.
Oh, this is when Lucy left, yeah. Season 1.
Okay.
Stop! Lucy!
Stop. That's still, no added details or anything.
Yep, outside.
You need to go home.
Santa
Yeah,
Monica.
we've already seen this shot.
Yep, this is all part of season 1. But the "you need to go home" is that I feel like that's a VO from this episode or from this season.
Vault dwellers are an endangered species.
Oh no, that's
This is Fallout Season 1, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you've got the. Did we pull the wrong trailer?
Yep.
That's
Fallout
what-
Season 2.
No, I got you. It's in the chats here. Hold on, I got part 1 in the chat, and then I got part 2 coming to you right now.
Okay.
All right, check the private chat.
Here we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's in Reddit. Yeah.
That probably helps us a little bit with all the.
Oh, it's been removed.
Reddit's legal operation team. I was just
Oh,
about to.
no, they got DMCA'd. No.
Uh-oh.
Oh, let's check the other one.
Where's it on here?
Oh, well, if you go back up, hold on. Fallout Season 2 teaser. There you go.
Yeah, this looks right.
Is that
It's just not, Sergeant Kane got a whole 500 subscribers.
Yeah, this is it.
Love your company. You said you'd get me out of this.
I tried, but Voltec basically owns the world, and the end of the world for that matter.
Then we'll do what? Add for these people.
It's over there, too. So it's
Okay, so hold on. Pause that real quick.
All right.
Who's the new assistant? That's my question.
Oh, because the old assistant was
Who's his
all.
wife? Who's
Yes.
not around anymore? All right. So who's interesting? He's got a new assistant character, and it's got the Amazon upfront seal down in the corner. You notice that. What is? I see flowers in the background. Where are they? They're on a sound stage.
Yeah.
Cooper, we have a request for a new Coca-Cola partnership promo.
Whether you're kicking back in a luxury
It just is just the immediate every time. Hey,
Yep.
we got this. Turn another corner. Hey.
Yeah. All right. So he's got Nuka-Cola, just regular Nuka-Cola right there.
No other like
Yeah.
crazy products, just strictly Nuka-Cola, no Blamco, nothing else.
Yeah, and if you look at the edges there, he's clearly in front of a background that's in front of something else. So there's a, probably like on the set inside of the vault. He might be shooting the instructional videos inside of the vault and like how to survive and stuff like that. In these moments.
Yeah, these are his like few moments of break, and he still has to go do some shilling.
Yeah, amazing.
Interesting.
Our poor guy. No wonder he's,
No wonder he what? It goes so crazy as a ghoul.
Yeah.
Maybe the demo vault from the museum in Fallout 3 using it as a set. Hey.
Maybe.
That would be a really cool Easter egg to actually see.
Well, yeah. I think, here's the thing. I do know that when I watched this earlier, I could have sworn I saw Vault 4. That this was that it was the vault number was 4. And that is also in Los Angeles. That's actually Vault 4 was the one that had all the folks who were mutated last season. Yeah. But I could have sworn that they were shooting that in Vault. They were shooting this in Vault 4. There was a Vault 4 in here.
Okay, because that's also the first time Vault 4 was mentioned, right? I was trying to think. It's not in Fallout 1 or 2 either.
No, that's TV. So.
Hi.
And did you know that Vault 4 is located in Hawthorne?
Oh, really?
Oh no, Cassandra Hawthorne was a character, but there's a Hawthorne, California. It is located in Los Angeles, though.
Well,
yeah,
we might need to go
Hawthorne Medical Laboratories. That's what it is. I hear
Oh.
Hawthorne, and I immediately think of like right by LAX.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But that would also make sense geographically because that wouldn't be far from 31, 32, or 33 since they're at the Santa Monica Pier.
I'm still intrigued. They've got to be able to. I don't know if they're even going to pay attention to Fallout 1 or 2, but like just the LA focus of everything makes me feel like they're going to go dig deep into something and bring some heavy hidden lore piece from like one of the original Fallouts at some point. No basis to say that in, but
they're really good at having the lore tie together. And, there's a lot of timeline questions right now. A lot of people call them like, oh my God, inconsistencies. But it's also like, I was about you just let them cook.
Yeah, that's true.
Because sometimes, inconsistencies and what are perceived to be plot holes are just threads that are going to be explained later.
That's the truth.
And sometimes they're plot holes, So
Game of Thrones. What was that? Actually, no. I think those were threads that were supposed to be picked up and just never were picked up, so they became plot holes.
I think by the time that they got off the guardrails of the books, they were like, "Get me the fuck off this show," you know, like let's just wrap this thing up.
Well, that's when they got their big old Disney trilogy for Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then they saw how bad they fumbled the bag of Game of Thrones. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna take that."
Oh yeah, you guys are slackers. No, it's like getting into your first choice of college, so you completely phone in that the last semester of high school, and then they pull your acceptance because they're like, "Oh, you tanked," you know. That's what that feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta see it all the way through, man. That's the trick.
One little step at a time.
Yep. All right. Well, let's keep analyzing here.
Shall we go one little step at a time with old Coop here?
Yep.
On a hot summer's day, zap that thirst with Nuka-Cola.
Zap that thirst.
I love the little.
Yeah.
The
just like the sheer revulsion in his eyes. Yeah.
It goes from the little jingle just to immediately.
Yeah. No, I really love how they did this. All right.
Cool.
Now they're down in the vault.
Right there. Do you see where the mouse is? I don't know if you can actually see the
Yeah,
mouse.
that's Vault Tech logo right there. So they're in a vault at the moment. That's where they're doing all their production from the looks of it. So they went from what looked to be a soundstage down into a vault.
Okay. And now we do have to think, I guess, like Stanley was saying, this could be the... Well, I guess no, that was a vault museum. That wasn't like a demo place.
No.
Goodness. It could still be done, but I guess a museum wouldn't be as apt of a location as, you know, an actual vault back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Not what I do with my career. The hell?
I know.
Look, I'm an artist. I'm not some corporate pitch man.
I know. Need a new take on this atomic sunscreen, Coop.
Sunscreen. They sell underground living facilities.
It's advertising, Coop. Try not to think too hard.
Just because you're 100 feet underground doesn't mean you've escaped the sun's harmful UV rays. Give your skin a warm grin with.
It's so good.
And I love just like the dead inside eyes as he's doing this. I mean, Walton Goggins just deserves all of the praise.
No words. He's solid. Instead of words, I'm going to watch the video.
Yeah. I like how he's got, you know, he's clearly inside of a vault and has the lemonade right there and the sunscreen. Yeah, it's perfect.
Probably, honestly, I don't know if we even watched her use it, but I'm sure Lucy uses the sunscreen that she talks like, oh, the sun, we used to go out, and all, obviously the whole projector that gets burned down and stuff. I wonder if we actually see Lucy use the sunscreen in season 1. The RoboCop ads.
Yeah.
Atomic sunscreen. This doesn't work, right? I mean, it's just lotion. Are we done yet?
I do like that.
Okay, well, there you go. Hold on.
Lotion.
Right there. Watch that vault door scroll. That's 4.
Oh, that was 4. That was 4.
So
okay.
Work, right? I mean,
2 things they're doing.
This doesn't.
That whenever they blink out, they blink out with 33.
Mm-hmm.
Is their edit, you know, to cut to a new
work, right?
thing.
It's just lotion.
And 4.
Are we done yet?
Nice.
Christmas is a time for family. It's
Lucky
also
38.
a time to party your asses off at the Lucky 38 Resort and Casino. We have high-stakes poker for mom and dad and high-security hotel rooms to lock up your kids while you paint the town red.
Okay.
That's going to have a meaning in modern time as well as before the war.
Oh, paint the town red? Yeah. And high security rooms to lock up the kids? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if what I guess would be super interesting, but I still am sad to see it even happen, is if Caesar is taken over the Vegas Strip at any point, New Vegas, because that would be painting the town red, and he would have people in cages in Lucky 38.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
If that's where the cages are on the Strip, he's
If
gonna
that's
have
what
people in there.
foreshadowing right there. That's pretty. That's pretty good. That's like a. Yeah. Okay.
Theorizing.
Mm-hmm. I feel it. Las Vegas. Oh, and then this is the other part of the trailer. Las Vegas.
This is that second teaser, huh?
Yeah. And this is where they announced December. Yeah. All right. Cool, Lucy. Desert.
Does he look more smooth to you than last season, or am I crazy? Because I looked at it and I was like,
He does. It could just be unfinished effects.
okay.
I mean, I would say that they could have said, "Hey, good enough," unless there is something about. Yeah, I do feel like that he is smoother for some reason.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I was trying to find some in-universe thing. Obviously, it's probably just the makeup chair or something like that. But like, he does have the excess of drugs from the place where Lucy had to save him from. He now has all those drugs. Maybe being able to take them more frequently has literally given the ghoul a little life back.
Could be.
I don't know, because it's obviously a new concept that they introduced. God dang. Perhaps he's just wearing the sunscreen.
There you go. It's smoothing out the wrinkles.
But yeah, no, that's just interesting. I just saw that. I was like, okay, keep moving.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Yep, and there we are in New Vegas.
Do you think she's lost the okie dokie this season? Or do you think it'll be used more sparsely to kind of show that, okay, she's not as positive as she was? She's the weight of the world set in around her.
I feel like that it'll be more sparse or even ironic.
I feel like the irony they'll lean into, the dark comedy of it almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
and look at that skyline.
Different. It looks pretty much like the game.
Yeah, pretty accurate.
All right. Oh, they're walking by a car right here. And then December.
Mm-hmm. Boom. Love it. So that's both trailers in one. Yeah. Or I guess it was all one trailer. I found it as two trailers, so that's why I thought there was two of them.
All right. Well, I think they released it as two. I do like them cut together like that, though. It works pretty well. I wonder if they had access to game assets. Todd Howard is an executive producer on the show. So I'm sure.
I mean, executive producer doesn't always mean anything. Sometimes it means that you're just like credited with that because you're one of the creators on the thing. It doesn't necessarily mean you're kicking stuff in, but
true. But old Todd Howard, we know
how sure they have to deal with Bethesda to get access to everything. You know,
they have to, to some degree. And Todd Howard's so anal about everything that, and rightfully so, honestly, with video game making. I can't see him not having some kind of sway and say. Probably not as much as a video game set, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so that's season 2. We know season 3 is coming. And then we got a quote from Aaron Moten at Comic-Con Liverpool when he was getting interviewed. These interviews got to be so tough to do when you know that there's stuff that you can say and can't say, you know, and you wind up being nobody wants to be the next Tom Holland, you know?
No.
His quote was, "When I signed on to do the series, we would have a starting point and they gave me an end point, and that end point hasn't changed, but it is season 5, 6 type of end point. We've always known that we were going to take our time with the development of the characters." So not exactly a smoking gun, but you know, he says they got a lot of story to tell.
It reminds me of, do you remember Walton Goggins as the show came out last year and was the sleeper hit or whatever they called it? And Walton Goggins everybody was asking, well, how many seasons do you think you want? How many seasons do you think they'll go? And he said, well, I'd make it 8, 10, or 20 if they let us, And
Sure.
I think that kind of was, they want to keep going. They have ideas. I don't know if, of course, that was early on.
Here's the thing. This is a post-apocalyptic future, dude. You can do all kinds of stuff with this,
As long as it correlates with Fallout 5. Old Todd Howard will have their heads if they're not careful on that one.
Well, and that's the other thing is that if they finish this in, another 4 or 5 years or so, or even 6 years, because, you got to leave time for editing and anything else. And we do have another SAG-AFTRA negotiation coming up in 2 years, potentially another strike. Yeah. I mean, Fallout 5 could be timed to come out at the end of what the show is. And boy, oh boy, what a lead in that would be.
It would be perfect. I mean, they saw how great. As the word can mean sometimes, assuming can make an ass out of you and me. But I'm going to go ahead and assume here that that's probably the plan, just based upon how well every single Fallout was selling after last season.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it? Boosting numbers of like 120 to 100.
Oh my God. I mean, Steam was showing, like 6-figure activity on Fallout 4 simultaneously. Yeah, and that was just through Steam.
2015, 2014? That's a decade old now.
Yeah. That's insane.
It's never had that Fallout's had the replayability of all of them do, of Skyrim. But, Skyrim is that specific video game that's heralded in as that thing that just stands the test of time and keeps kicking. It keeps kicking. And Fallout 4, I think, was... I probably... Once again, I'm assuming, but I'd have to look at some data. But I think that it would probably outdo Skyrim last year. I would think that would be the one Bethesda game to outdo that, if I had to guess. Because 140%, 170% uptake is just insane.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, so with all this stuff in mind, I mean, we've picked apart a few things. Where do we think, if season 2 is New Vegas, they spent season 1 in California. Season 2 is New Vegas. They got 4 more seasons to go after that. I know that we don't know much about season 2, except for the fact that it is going to involve the Strip and Freeside. There are death claws. We do have footage of both the NCR and Caesar's Legion on the Strip. And I imagine that they're going to CGI in all of the Yes Men. I didn't see any practicals of that, but that's kind of tough to do. I think they're all going to be effects.
That makes sense.
Without knowing what happens in season 2, where do you think season 3 goes?
I think they'd be remiss to leave New Vegas.
Really?
They hinted at things from multiple games last season. The only thing that keeps me from wanting to say that, which characters from season 1 do we think we're still going to see going forward that weren't major characters that would just need do we think we're going to see the Doctor that made Titus, made what's Johnny Pemberton's character again, into a possible super mutant or ghoul?
Yes, we're going to see the Chicken Doctor. Yeah,
I feel like he'll show up. I'm trying to think about if there are reasons to stay in LA, to go back to the California side of things, outside of the the California Republic, of course. Or you know what I'm trying to say, the NCR. I want to know where that correlates, because I'm sure they go back and forth to some degree this season. I could see them in season 3 almost leaning into the DLCs of New Vegas, if that makes sense, and continuing that story.
Oh, wow. So you think they're going to do Dead Money, Honest Hearts, all that?
Or the remnants of everything, I guess. Just to pick up the pieces of where those are at as well. they could also, I guess, correlate that into this coming season as well.
I will tell you, I think that if they hit New Vegas for a while, I think that they're going to go and explore it. I think that we're going to finally get like I think they will leave a period of history open and ambiguous so that any ending can be canon ending. But after a little while, they'll have it be like, well, after all that shit got sorted out, then this happened, and that's what created the new status quo. Because you can have multiple status quo defining events happening back to back to back, you know?
Yeah.
So they can have it be like, oh yeah, it's whatever ending you want, and then they got their asses kicked, you know? So they could do that.
Do you think that would be them staying in Nevada, or do you think maybe going?
No, I feel like at one point they have a really rich tapestry to work with here. Okay. Mm-hmm. We've got Appalachia, we've got the Commonwealth, we've got the Capitol, those three big areas. They could also, and I could see them doing this, they could also branch out into places that haven't been covered in the games and go somewhere completely original. I mean, from what I understand, they have a whole outline of what New York City would look like.
If they start going to New York, I will eye roll at least a little bit. Like, I just don't need it. You know, we got DC, we got Boston. I don't need New York.
Fair. But you know, what if they wound up going just through the Midwest and just seeing what the effects there were?
That intrigues me more because I feel like New Vegas plays into. Well, hell, I mean, Fallout 4 does give us, I think, the best outside of. I mean, Fallout 3 is pretty a big city as well, obviously, but Fallout 4 just feels more like that big city that you're wandering through. But New Vegas is what we all still kind of gravitate towards the most a lot of the time, and it's the least city built of all of them. And I feel like that necessitates itself to
but I
fall out
could see
a little bit more.
I could see if they've got 4 seasons to fill. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think it's season 2. Here are my hot takes. We're going to learn more secrets about the trinity of Vaults 31 to 33 and middle management and Vault Tech's overall plan. I think we will get I mean we basically already got confirmation in season 1 that they dropped the bomb. They left it a little ambiguous, but I think that we will get official confirmation of that. I'm willing to bet. These are my hot takes. So I think they're going to get confirmation Vault Tech dropped the bomb. I think that we're going to learn we're going to explore the secrets more of 31 to 33 and how they're all interconnected and what Vault Tech's ultimate plan for world domination is. I think that you got to remember that they are going through Vault Tech because they're pursuing Hank. So I could see Hank being the Benny here and either winding up captured by whoever's in charge of New Vegas right now, or striking a deal with them. Maybe he's already got a pre-existing relationship with them, whoever's in charge, whoever he thinks is in charge, because he seemed to be making a beeline for it. It's not like he was wandering in the desert and stumbled into it. He knew where he was headed. So there might be a reason why. Now, granted, he's been in the vault for a long time, but he's clearly had communication with the outside world. So, I don't think he's just stumbling in that direction. He's going there with purpose. So, he's going to be the Benny of this. You know, it's ironic. It's the daddy issues and who shot me in the head. Those are the guys. Those are your protagonists for the Fallout games. And we have daddy issues and we have who shot me. So there's it's all wrapped up into one. And I think Hank as a analog for Benny in this situation is pretty 1-to-1 spot on. So there's a lot of different ways that Benny situation could go in the game. Hopefully the protagonists don't wind up sleeping with him, because that would be really weird.
That'd be weird in a multitude of ways.
In a multitude of ways, yeah. But I think he is... what's the best way to put this? I think his motivation right now is survival. So he's trying to get away. I think that, you know, the Ghoul and Lucy are tracking him down. That is, what's driving them. And I think that they're going to give us like this Mr. Toad's Wild Ride tour through New Vegas and doing a lot of fan service in the process, and doing all kinds of stuff. We already know they're going to Novak. We already know that they're doing they're hitting all the stops and hitting all the greatest hits. This will be dope. The other thing we got to talk about is what happens with the Brotherhood of Steel now that they have Cold Fusion. Which is something I think that's going to be Aaron. That's going to be Maximus's plot line, is him rising up through the ranks of the Brotherhood of Steel, and I think he's going to be rather disenchanted with it, or grow disenchanted with it, as people do with organized religion after time. And this is going to be a crisis of faith as he learns more about the world around him.
He was already kind of having that at the end of season 1 too.
They're setting it up beautifully, and I think we're going to see now that he's been declared a hero. And is rising through the ranks, he's going to realize that, oh shit, maybe I don't want this.
Yeah. So. Do you think the cold fusion aspect of it, because the things that keep people in LA are cold fusion and the vault, duh. So that'll keep at least some plot line in LA. With the cold fusion aspect,
two big ones too. So it's like we will have ties to California.
Does the cold fusion aspect, and now that the Brotherhood has taken over the cold fusion, especially from the NCR, that definitely puts them at each other's throats again.
Yeah.
Does just the simple fact that the cold fusion is where it's at Griffith Observatory, does the Brotherhood of Steel set up base in Los Angeles then? Versus, hey, we have the Pridwin, we can go anywhere? Because they have the Pridwin and they can go anywhere, but do they set up a home base in LA, and we start seeing that as a reason to go back?
The Brotherhood invades LA and starts taking it over.
They have cold fusion. There's no reason not to be here. Yeah,
I guess so. Or just take that technology back with them. And knowing them, I think we'll see NCR versus because that's not the end of the NCR. That can't be.
Especially if they have a cool new suit coming up.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the previews of NCR Power Armor, so I think we will have Power Armor versus Power Armor. Dicks out, let's go, big brawls, big bad robot brawls. That'll be fun. Yeah, no, I feel like that and the Vault 31 to 33 storyline, those two will keep us rooted in LA. Mm-hmm. While this excursion is happening in New Vegas, and we do that know that New Vegas is like the main arc for the amount of time for everything that they were shooting here in North Hollywood and downtown. They're there for the season, I think. Yeah, So from there, yeah, I mean, I suppose there's just way too. I mean, the thing is that if this is a more linear video game series, you could be like, oh, well, I could tell you where they're going to go visit next. But because we're dealing with games that are open world sandboxes, it's like, good God, they really could go anywhere.
I think it was Stanley's was saying Arizona, Texas, or Washington are walkable from Nevada. Any further, you'd need to find a vertibird or something. They have the vertibirds, but I feel like this is almost going to, especially trying to film in California like they kind of are,
Yeah.
There are enough geographical things within California to make it look like you've maybe walked the entirety of the West Coast. I would actually kind of enjoy if by the end of this season 6, we've almost like made a loop back to LA or something along the entirety of the West Coast.
Oh yeah, no, I think it'll start back I think it'll end back where it started. Absolutely.
But does that include like British Columbia and Canada up in that? Because Canada's part of the United States at that
point. True. That's true.
That would be an interesting thing to see. And I'm a little if they're gonna do Fallout Texas, you put that in a video game for me because I want to explore that. You don't put that in a TV show.
There you go.
Even though it would look great in a TV show. But I feel like the West Coast, especially as you go further north, there are a few different big cities you can hit over time. You get to like Seattle or Portland or something like that. Olympia. I don't know. There are a bunch of different little smaller things that you could hit. Obviously, going north in California and Nevada itself. But that I feel like would be a fun way to get them in some snow or something like that. Just change the scenery after a couple seasons.
Yeah, sure. I think it could be interesting. Mike, I think you're asking some great questions. I think it's a little too early to tell right now. I know that SAG is already strategizing, but this last strike was brutal, and production still hasn't come back. I mean, there's a lot going on right now. A lot to be concerned about with AI, Peter. I think you're right. I think that the industry is about to get devastated. Audible just announced that they're doing AI narrators now.
Audible?
Yeah, I'm canceling my subscription. I'm like, can't support that. Yeah.
I'm paying for voice acting classes right now, and I might not pay for another round. I really want to, but if that's
yeah, no, I know. I mean, and this is the reality. And SAG-AFTRA is still on strike against all the video game companies at the moment.
Yeah,
that strike is still ongoing because of AI.
Well, and the big stickler on that one has been Warner Brothers, right?
I want to say I'm not as up to date on that one as I have been on other actions, but I should, because it affects work.
Yeah.
So
but I guess to give you the rough guesstimation, Mike, it's not from this summer, because last summer was this kind of remainder of everything, right? 2 summers from now will be whenever the deal has to be remade, correct? Somewhere around that time?
It's every 3 years.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we got 2 years. Yeah, like we've got about 2 years left on the deal. And I think everybody is watching how AI is evolving very closely. And its effects on it. It's already getting really good, and that's scary. And this is what we knew. This is why I thought that the protections weren't enough. But that's me.
It's amazing for like medicine and certain different industries and things like that, but the arts are something entirely different. And that's a whole different.
I mean, like I had one of my stage managers used ChatGPT to generate all their invoices for the shows that they're stage managing. I'm like, that's a good use of AI.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, like I use it for like, here's all the ingredients that I have. What can I cook? I do that.
I guess real quick, the second question real quick. How many episodes are in this show?
8.
8. Yeah.
Yep.
And any ideas to when the next season will drop?
December.
I pointed the right way first. I'd rather have a stack to watch through than 5 episodes.
Yep. No, I'm with you. I don't know. It's such a weird time for the industry right now. Like, and I know that Jay is very connected, but I also feel like Jay deals with a lot of jaded people, and Jay is very jaded himself. Love you, Jay. But, I feel like that. I don't know. I also feel like Jay's right on the money with some of his assessments and way off base with others. So, I mean, 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Yeah.
I think that if studios could get rid of actors and just do AI, they do it in a heartbeat. Because the thing is that the studios are businesses, and businesses, a publicly held corporation's interest in a capitalist society is to its shareholders, not to people, not to its employees, shareholders, and the bottom line. And the bottom line is king.
Yeah. Well, the one thing we still have going for us are the advertisement shills.
Yeah.
That's what they need. It was just a person to talk to other people half the damn time.
Yeah.
Shoot. Change
Sean, I'm wearing my hat indoors because I'm sparing you the sight of my bedhead. I respect my audience enough to not subject you to that. And Americans are good with this. So just FYI, it is a cultural thing that this is acceptable.
Yes.
We've talked about it before.
Yeah. Where's the vast majority of our audience and the people that are streaming here?
So I shouldn't do the 2 fingers?
Which ones?
I shouldn't flip this around.
Oh. Of course.
Totally fine in the US, but I can understand why it would be a little it's a cultural difference. Yeah.
Hey, We got a president that got shot with a top hat. We should be the one sensitive about hats.
Yeah,
you
true.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know what else to say. I was like, something about hats real quick. I'm good with it. I'm the UK. Yeah,
Yep.
people that I don't know. I'm gonna be friendly. But
anyway, let's take it to Fallout. But yeah,
let's do it. With all of this, December. We just said again, December is when we're getting season 2, which means they're probably of course, the second they're done wrapping, and even while they're already filming, they are post productioning to some degree.
Oh yeah,
they're in the post production process. When do you think they're going to start filming season 3? Do you think they're going to film it by the end of the year, or like start filming?
I think season 3 will start around Thanksgiving, or I think
cool.
they're going to start shooting in November, especially since they know it's already going to happen. Because if then they could turn it around and have season 3 out by December 2026, I think this is the 1-year cycle.
Okay. Do you think promoting season 2 is gonna maybe put a wrench in that at all, or do you think they'll kind of say, "Hey,
they know how to balance the shit." I mean, they did. They'd have casts of shows doing promotion for stuff while also shooting 24 episodes a season. Like, this is not that big a deal.
I'm ready for it. Give it starting that Thanksgiving date and have it done by February or March, so we could have it. What if this finished filming in April and we're getting it in December? That's a 8-month turnaround essentially.
Mm-hmm.
If they're done filming, well, we could have it by October next year.
I think that they'll try to keep it consistent. I bet you that they'll try to keep it consistent and have it show up in December, because this is great, like bed rot week watching.
It's and I guess once you have a family, even for families, like whenever I was back for Christmas last year, we were watching Fallout. I was trying to get my family to watch it, and that was last year. I was trying to make sure like my timeline was right there. It was like it was a holiday I was in town for like 4 or 5 days, but yeah, like it's. If you got a, maybe people high school age or older for your kids, it's kind of a family-like show. Like we sat down and watched Game of Thrones together as a family, and I'm sure there's a lot of different families that do stuff like that,
Sure.
It's more, and it's perfect to watch with your friends, perfect to watch by yourself. I feel like it hits every quadrant without specifying. I guess, it definitely specifies the 2 male centric genre quadrants more so, I guess, but there's literally something for everybody. It is kind of not your traditional familial media, but it can fit in that kind of way in December. I could see him doing that. I would like that.
Murderbot is just far too short.
They're only 30-minute episodes. Every time they end, I'm like, I wanted more, and it's not like we've gotten a whole bunch yet, but I'm with you. What to correlate that to a degree? This past Sunday for Sci-Fi Sundays, we kind of said Murderbot. Is it the answer to a live-action Rick and Morty to a degree?
Yeah,
it is different, and it's a lot. It's not so zany and fast-paced like a cartoon might be. But I think it can kind of, I think between Fallout and Murderbot, both of those with the specific types of humor they have kind of fill an answer to what a live action Rick and Morty may be. Okay. Because I wouldn't say Fallout and Rick and Morty are necessarily similar in much, but tone and dark humor maybe.
Yeah, I could see that. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I'm behind on everything right now. I don't get to have a life until July right now, but I do have it on my list of stuff to check out because everybody I've been talking to has been raving about it. So I do have to take your word for it. I gotta tell you, I've watched like a lot of Rick and Morty clips, and I watched Pickle Rick, which I think is one of the greatest half hours of television ever. But I tried to go back and start Rick and Morty from the beginning. And holy shit, it is so nihilistic that I was like, I can't. Like the early stuff is just so dark and hopeless that I'm like, maybe maybe I need to call my therapist, but I'm just not in the spot to watch this right now. Yeah, it was
That's
rough.
understandable.
Yeah.
The newest season, by the end of it, also it is increasingly dark and hopeless. They keep bringing like an episode or two where you're like, oh my god, okay, this is like some really heartfelt stuff. I get it, and then they just rip it out of you real quick.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh yes, the Fallout 76 Vision trailer. Let's grab that and let's take a look at it. We'll do a live. We'll do a live reveal. We have not watched this before. We've not seen this. David, thank you for the reminder. Sorry if we're boring you with talking about the existentialism of Rick and Morty.
Well, if we want to talk some existentialism, Rick and Morty and Fallout are probably two of the best things to do so.
Yeah, facts.
All right,
let's take a look at this.
We've got our lo-fi on in the background, medium volume. I think we should be fine. You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nope. We ain't that fancy. Just give us normal 1080p, please. There we go.
Hey. Now it doesn't look like it was done on a potato. You can get a boat fishing rod display. Collect all of your fishing rod collections. Yeah. Oh, neon signs. All right.
I like
a houseboat. Oh, you bougie now.
Uh-huh.
Lily pads. Oh no, those are
cute. Oh.
Bottled octopus.
That's actually cool.
Oh, vinyl crate, very important. You're special. Oh wow, you could actually arm wrestle Poseidon. That's fun. That's your strength.
That's really cool.
I like how that's like that feels like a nod back to how you set your stats in New Vegas.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep. The compatibility machine. Yeah.
The Poseidon stuff, a little Fallout 3, a little Fallout.
I love the Gone Fission fishing sign cannery. Okay.
My name is Dottie.
Hey,
Let me know when you're ready.
Whoa.
The truth.
What is this?
Oh, that's
that
a
looks
mermaid.
like
Somebody's building
somebody-
skeletons. That's some weird shit happening.
I don't know if that almost looks like someone just put skeletons together.
Oh, that's 100%. That's 100% what they did. Yeah.
Okay.
But I love it. Yeah.
What weird, crazy creatures Fallout making now?
Yep.
Some chimera.
Oh, wait. Genetic engineering in my Fallout? Okay. Taxidermy shark
Stay
jaw.
away from the water in the meantime.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd also be fun. Oh, the pepper shaker? What?
Icebreaker. Love it.
There are a few things as satisfying as just knocking out some giant frickin'. I almost said mud crabs.
Mirelurks.
Mirelurks, there we go.
Oh, these are fun.
This is kind of like,
So, apparently it's Bass Pro Fishing Extreme.
Bass Pro Fishing.
Okay.
That looks solid.
Fun. I like it.
Tony.
Man, I wish I had time to play 76. I just don't have time for MMOs.
Me either.
Yeah.
I want to do so much of Elder Scrolls Online. I want to do Fallout 76 so bad.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to just sit there and just do the main quest line of Fallout 76. It's just not realistic for me. When you get into the game, you go wild.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm still trying to find the time to finish Baldur's Gate 3.
You haven't even had time to pick up the Oblivion remake at all, have you?
Nope.
Oh, I wouldn't think so. Damn.
Nah, dude. Like Fringe is Fringe is killing me right now. I have 5 shows to tech today. I've got 6 tomorrow, 6 on Sunday. We got 48 to do by June 6th. So it's a lot. And then we're also doing. I'm still doing all my prep for Scotland. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be launching a fundraiser here for it here very shortly for Scotland, the Scotland trip, and to help fund the movie for 3 Can Keep a Secret. So I'm gonna be getting that out here, hopefully today. I got to finish up the video, but as soon as that's done and live, I'll be very, very happy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, please shoot us a link, text, anything, everything. We'll
Absolutely.
promote,
Absolutely. Now I got to get the word out. I'm looking. We're looking to raise $25,000, but I'm just looking for 1,000 people to give me $25. That's all I'm looking for.
Hey.
$25 each. If I could have that, and I'm actually going to put together like a whole thing of like, if you make a $25 donation, you get your own name in the 25 by 40 grid. So
that's perfect.
Or the $25 club. So yeah,
that's all. I think that's the way a lot of, we touched on it, as studios are going to do more and more AI stuff, as they don't feel the need to use actors. Smaller studios, independent studios, and independent people making studios, independent studios again.
I mean, on the one hand, AI is going to be corporations want to use AI and studios want to use AI to replace performers and like above the line and below the line. But the technology, but technology is also so good that you could shoot a feature on your phone these days, and people do.
28 days later.
I feel like we're going to have more. I'm hoping that we're going to have more independent art take off. Especially when you have like a platform like YouTube.
You saw the Golden Globes have now said they've offered a couple different new, I guess, category either changes or additions, and YouTube would be able to be nominated. Like the thing that would be a little complicated is obviously YouTube itself would have to act like a studio, like a Netflix would, or like an Amazon Prime would, or so on and so forth. But shorts, films made on YouTube for YouTube, anything that the studio wants to nominate is now able to be nominated for a Golden Globe in that sense.
No shit.
Okay. The one thing that I don't like, they also were trying to combine variety shows and talk shows and include the YouTube space as well. So technically we would be able to be nominated for a Golden Globe, but
all right, well, you heard it here first, guys. Get on the nomination. Let's start a campaign here. Let's get us nominated for Golden Globe. Somebody call the Hollywood Foreign Press. No, I love that. And actually, that kind of gives me hope because my movie 3 Can Keep a Secret is one of those where there's so many interactive elements to it that I was actually going to release it as a series of shorts, or it's like a series of like 10-minute videos. That you could then navigate to what next chapter you want to watch. So knowing that that's a possibility now, it's like, oh, good, there is actually like hope for this.
I hope the Oscars and the Academy follow suit. Probably not anytime soon, but probably after.
They're too pretentious.
Well,
I mean, they're too very much stuck in like, this is Hollywood,
Well, there's another thing they've added, which I really do like. They want to change the name of the category from TV movie to outstanding film made for television or something like that. Outstanding film made for something like that. And I think that would open, and of course that would open the category for YouTube to kind of be a part of that as well.
Okay.
The thing that I guess has been a little bit complicated, I saw people like John Campia brought it up, which was a good point, is, okay, Netflix puts a movie in a theater for 3 days. Is that qualified for an outstanding film made specifically for streaming or TV, or does that qualify now as a theatrical release, and is that worthy of the quote unquote more prominent accolades?
Well, yeah, because right now Netflix is just parking a movie in some movie theater in bumfuck nowhere for a weekend.
New York, LA,
boom. Yeah, and that it's like, They're doing it just to check the box to qualify. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that there's going to be a lot of new strategy coming out, because with every rules change, there comes new strategies to approaching these things, and people spend a lot of time and money and energy figuring out how they can increase their odds to win, because it and the thing is, it's not about art. I mean, it's not about the quality of art. It's about the bottom line and how marketable it is when you have that, you know, like the value of things goes up automatically when you have Academy Award nominated or Academy Award winner attached to it. I mean, there's a whole they know what they're doing. It's and it's all marketing. It's all marketing. So,
well, speaking of, I don't know exactly even where to begin the thought process for that, but there's someone's gonna think something.
Oh, I feel like YouTube did that. You know, like I feel like YouTube was the big disruption, and streaming video was the big disruption. I feel like Twitch was like a smaller impact of a similar variety. You know?
Yeah, it's almost, it's not personalized YouTube, but it's kind of.
Well, it's like YouTube is for, you know, like once YouTube added live streaming, it changed the game again. But originally it was like upload your movie to YouTube or a video to YouTube and watch that. And now Twitch was like, here, watch this happen live. You know, like it's the difference between going to the multiplex versus watching live news, you know, or live television. And now YouTube is like, oh, hey, we could do that too, you know. So, but I feel like that was the big disruption, and I feel like that again. I can't underscore how important it is to be able to shoot a friggin' feature on your film. That this was the democratizing almost of making movies. You know?
Yeah, and if AI is going to be good for one thing, it is going to be in the filmmaking sphere. It's going to be you and I, the independent people that are out here just wanting to do their own things, can streamline some of the process.
Yeah.
Now, if we can streamline some of that process, just think about what the giant frickin' studios can do. And, you know, that's why we're having to think about this in general. But nonetheless, that will be one of the benefits for the little guy with it. Even though I think that the arts are the one thing AI does not necessarily benefit a whole bunch.
Yeah. Here's my wild hypothetical take. I think that at one point, technology is going to win, and that the studios are going to get their way and get to start making AI stuff. I think a certain amount of people are going to adopt it, and I think that there's going to be a not insignificant chunk of folks who need to go back to having the real. And I feel like, you know, having something that's authentic. And I feel like that the general public is going to rediscover the theater. At least I hope so. But I do feel like that there is a chance for that. And that as more and more AI schlock gets just shoved down our throats, and the internet is going to become more and more bots just talking to each other, and then we will have more live music, we will have more live entertainment, because people are going to be striving for what is authentic and human. That's my hot take.
Please, please. I feel like Tarantino or somebody said something kind of similar within the last year or so. And it would just be so nice to see. AI can make some really cool things, but
you can't replace humanity.
It's schlock. Like you said, it's going to be there is no original idea. And even though it might feel kind of original, it's instead of stealing tastefully, I guess, like to quote Tarantino again, like an artist does, is, hey, I'm going to borrow this and make it my own. It has never made its own within the product. It's always strictly just to borrow and place elsewhere. I don't know if we're going to get past that.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, and I know the guys that were behind the Blair Witch Project. I know a couple of them, and it was all intentionally like, yeah, we want this to look as cheap and horror, and like they had a whole motif, you know, they had a whole style, and everything was dedicated to making it look like it was just shot out of a camera out of somebody's back pocket. You know, that was the whole point, and it was great.
And it worked. It worked so well.
Yeah. Yep.
So what?
All righty,
Okay.
brother. Well, hey, I think it's about that time to ride off into the sunset. I have to meet with the show here very shortly and get them all lit. My day is about to begin, so I will see you guys on the next one. We are currently, we'll drop a little spoiler, a little teaser for the next episode. We are currently talking to the owners of the Pioneer Saloon in Good Springs, Nevada, about coming on and being our guest next episode. We'll be hopefully doing an interview with them, talking about how they survive in the literal middle, being a bar in the literal middle of nowhere, and how not only have they grown to embrace their association with the Fallout franchise, but how they capitalize on it and how they use it to help keep themselves and the town of Good Springs going.
And not just going, but thriving to a lot of degrees. Like it's
absolutely.
Crazy. It's really neat to see. It's
Yep.
It's a cool
So
place.
I think we'll be back in 2 weeks with that, and yeah, we'll see where we go from there. We got a few other surprises in the shoot too, so very excited about that. All righty, guys. We will we'll see y'all soon.
Yep.
Thank you very
See
much.
y'all Sunday for Sci-Fi Sundays.
Yep.
I think
All righty.
that's it.
Yep. Cheers.
All right. Adios, y'all.